2. Miggy did have 3 hits, though.
Yep.
29-67. He also had his 369 hit in an interleague game, which moves him to first place, passing Ichiro. His all-time interleague. They finished the series tonight right here on 97.1 The Ticket. By the way, Odyssey has a new podcast. It's out, C13 Originals, with John Meacham, narrated by Doc Rivers. It's called the Shining City Audio. It Was Said Sports. Like I said, new series written by John Meacham, who's a Pulitzer Prize-winning historian, and it draws from figures like Muhammad Ali, Billie Jean King, Hank Aaron. Season 1 of It Was Said Sports take listeners through 6 speeches whose impact, legacy, and significance goes far beyond the world of sports. Rivers and Meacham will have a wide range of guests, including Urban Meyer, Michael Strahan, 2 of your favorites there.
Yeah.
And Michael Wilbon and Al Michaels as well. So get it wherever podcasts are available. You can download it now. All right, Heather, what's going on?
Well, you guys, Milford police are actually on the lookout for 3 teens who actually vandalized an elementary school last month. So they're looking for these little villains. Police say about $30,000 to $40,000 worth of damage was caused at Johnson Elementary School, and it happened between 12:30 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. back on August 29th. So police are saying these teens are described as boys between the ages of 14 and 16. They have released some kind of not that clear, kind of grainy photos of these teens on social media. They've described what they were wearing. So if you know anybody that you see in these photos, police are hoping somebody will call them. Also, they say fingerprinting was conducted at the scene, and the Oakland County Crime Lab is analyzing those and some other evidence.
Oh, CSI is on it.
Yeah, I mean...
CSI Milford.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. I mean, so it was much more than just, I'm guessing, spray painting the side of the building. They must have done a lot of other things as well during that hour, for sure. Some sad news. A man fell to his death from a cliff in the UP on Monday. The man was at Presque Isle Park in Marquette, and investigators believe that he fell while he was descending this cliff to take some photographs. The victim was found in Lake Superior near the shore, but unfortunately all efforts to save him were unsuccessful. And at least so far this summer, at least 2 other people have fallen at parks in the Upper Peninsula. So be careful, people. That's all. It's scary. I mean, accidents happen, but sometimes they are very preventable as well. So just be careful. The Governor Whitmer kidnapping case is set to go to trial in about a month, and the potential jurors are going to have to answer a whole bunch of questions, including how they feel about masks, how they feel about guns, about militias, and all sorts of other things. So the federal prosecutors and defense lawyers have agreed on a list of 75 questions that these prospective jurors will have to answer in the case. And basically, they just kind of want to get a feel where everybody stands. They want to know how jurors feel about the governor's handling of the pandemic. And some of these questions include things like this. Have you, any member of your family or household, or any close friend ever belonged to a militia? Have you ever participated in a protest or civil demonstration? Where do you get your news from? All sorts of different questions. Not that surprising, I guess.
No, it all goes to your personality.
Yeah.
Where you
Exactly. They want to know that before they pick a juror, so that's not too surprising. This isn't too surprising either, but more and more businesses across Metro Detroit are weighing mask requirements for their staff and customers as this Delta variant continues to spread. In Ann Arbor, for example, there is a growing number of shops and restaurants that are looking closely at reinstituting mask requirements. So this is not going to be a mask mandate for the entire state, but individual companies, individual restaurants, businesses are just trying to figure out if this is something they want to do. And I think we're going to see a little more of that here and there.
If the cases go up, yeah, you will. And I was listening to driving in today, and in Texas, a lot of the school kids are getting and the teachers. They don't know what they're going to do right now.
Yep. There was something big happened yesterday. I know Britney Spears is not your favorite topic, but this was big. So Britney Spears' fight to end her court-ordered conservatorship took a big unexpected turn on Tuesday when her father, Jamie Spears, who is the conservator of her estate, actually filed a petition to end the agreement.
Oh, so he wants out.
Free Britney could be here. Yeah, I mean, he wants to end it. So in this request, Jamie cited his daughter's pleas at 2 separate court hearings over the summer. He's basically saying that these recent events related to the conservatorship have persuaded him to change his mind. And he also indicated that his daughter's circumstances have changed to the point where she no longer needs a conservatorship. So he now wants out. I mean, he did say a few months ago, that he was going to be ready to step down, but it did at the time sound like he would step down as long as another conservator came into place. So this is pretty big. So this termination will have to be approved by the judge that oversees the case. But as you can imagine, Britney's attorney cited the filing as a massive legal victory and vindication for the star. So this is big news for her, and it's what she's been wanting. So we'll see if it actually happens. It sounds like it probably will. So that's good for her. All right, this is so interesting. There's this guy in Australia, and he just set a new world record for holding the longest plank. And I'm telling you, the time, it doesn't seem real. It's absolutely ridiculous. He literally planked for longer than a flight would take from Florida to Europe. No joke. So like we've all done a plank before. I mean, for me, I could probably hold a plank maybe a minute, and then I could try to push myself to go a little bit longer than that. That's it for me. That's my limit, right? They're hard. It's hard to do. Well, this guy, Daniel Scally, he held a plank for 9 hours, 30 minutes, and 1 second. And he broke the previous world record by 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Did it say
That's
what
insanity.
he was doing while he was holding plank? Like, was he able to watch?
Let's hope so. I mean,
binge watch a show or something? I mean, boredom would get you before you got wore out.
That's the whole thing about it. I mean, not only do you have to be physically strong, but it's also a mental game to take yourself away from the sheer agony that you're in. And afterward, he did describe about how much pain he was in.
I remember at the 14-minute mark, my thighs started to burn, and I knew he was going to be in a hell of a ride. Putting constant pressure on my elbow and forearm, as well as up to my shoulder, did give me quite a bit of grief at the start. I have dealt with pain for so long, I knew how to manage it. The 6-hour came, the 7-hour mark came, my body started to turn on me a little bit. I started to feel a bit of vibration and shaking, and that's when I started to actually vomit on myself.
Oh, yes. I'm not sure what's worse.
Did he have a cleanup crew?
Yeah, he was puking on himself and the grief that his shoulders gave.
Like, oh my gosh. He made it sound not that bad. And when he's like, I started shaking around 6 hours, I think of myself doing a plank, like, oh my gosh, my body can start shaking around the minute mark. So that's insane. Pretty crazy. You might remember this guy. You might not remember his name, but you might remember his story. Do you guys know this rapper, Lil Uzi Vert? He's the one that got that huge, massive diamond implanted into his forehead. Yes, me too. I don't know his work. I don't know his music, but I do know that he had this $24 million diamond in his forehead. Well, I really hope that he had some good insurance on it, because fans actually ripped it out while he was crowd surfing. Someone got very, very lucky if they got to take that diamond home with them. But imagine what that felt like. Nasty.
I don't know how it was secured in there. Was it just in, like, they opened up his face, stuck it in there, and it healed, like the skin
stuck, and then the skin healed?
Yeah.
I hope he was under anesthesia when they put it in. That's gotta hurt.
Oh my gosh.
I would think, but I mean,
It's gotta kill.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically had to just slice his forehead. But there's not like a lot of skin on your forehead. Like, I mean, your forehead is thin skinned.
Bone.
and stick this diamond in it, whatever. But I saw a photo, and he now has a piercing there, so he might be trying to either hold that place where he's going to re-put the diamond, or now he might just be rocking this piercing. So we'll see.
All right, thank you very much, Heather. All right, coming up next, the season premiere of Wide 9. Can't wait. 97.1.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here with the Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Week 1 Pro Football Sunday almost here, and on Sunday, Tennessee hosts Arizona. Tennessee, a 3-point home favorite. The total in that game is 52. And with this number sitting at 3, and if it gets above 3 to Tennessee, minus 3.5, really like Arizona here to at very least push if the number is 3. I think Arizona can win this game outright as well. And as for the total, with 2 questionable defenses here, and especially a questionable secondary with Tennessee, I think this game can easily go over the total. So my early looks for this game, Arizona and Tennessee, would be Arizona plus the points and over 52 Sunday in Tennessee. That's it for this Bet River Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by Bet River Sportsbook, Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Check out the latest lines today at BetRivers.com. I'm Nick Costos. Keep it locked here for more throughout the day. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
A message from the staff of Michigan's Crime Victim Compensation Program.
Anyone can be a victim of crime.
And suffer lasting trauma, physically, emotionally, and financially.
But you are not alone.
If you're struggling financially due to a crime,
We're here for you.
find out if you qualify for crime victim compensation. Call 877-251-7373 or visit michigan.gov/crime victim.
A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Victim Services.
The original Peloton bike offers more motivation.
Great job, team!
70% of members say they work out more now with Peloton than before. Get game-changing cardio at a new game-changing price. The original Peloton bike, now $400 less. Learn more at onepeloton.com.
How many of you have pets? My hand's raised. Now think about how lucky you are to have such a sweet little pet in your life, and that pet is lucky to have you too. But unfortunately, there are countless pets out there that don't have a home to call their own. However, Bob's from Skechers is trying to change that. So we developed Bob's for dogs and cats to help pets in need. With every purchase of adorable Bob's footwear or fun, stylish apparel, or even the cutest Bob's pet accessories, Skechers makes a donation to Petco Love to help save shelter pets. And with your help, we've already saved the lives of over 1 million pets and raised over $7 million. So while you're getting style and comfort with features like Skechers' famous memory foam cushioning, you're also helping to save an adorable pet in need and helping another lucky owner be connected with a future best friend and companion. Because happiness is having a loving pet by your side. Find Bob's at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, select Petco locations, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Combining almost 75 years of local business with resources of 550 stores across the U.S., Builders First Source and John's Lumber are experts in windows and door installation. Add value and beauty to your home with trusted brands like Anderson, Jeld-Wen, Therma-Tru, and more. Then have your new windows and doors installed properly the first time with John's expert installation team. Find them at their Metro Detroit locations in Clinton Township and Shelby Township. Call 833-GO-JOHNS now. John's is more than lumber.
In Detroit, USA Today Sports Plus is the new sports app that puts the fans first. While others are at the press conference, we're in the locker room with more reporters in more cities than any sports news outlet. Get the latest scores, stats, and standings, and enjoy interactive experiences as well as group chats with our award-winning sports writers. If you're a fan of football, you need USA Today Sports Plus for this coming season. Download it from the Apple or Google Play stores today. USA Today Sports Plus, and harder.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Michael Pura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734-2200.
Odyssey is your new home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year. The NFL starting on Sunday. College football started last week. That means it's time for the Wide 9. The host of the Wide 9 in his 37th year is Thomas, the Governor Milliken.
It feels like it, that's for sure, man. Getting old. All right, Michigan dominated Western Michigan a little more than people thought. Running backs Hassan Haskins and Blake Corum were excellent 1-2 punch. Does the Michigan running game have staying power against tougher opponents?
I'm going to say not unless they pass the ball more than 20 times. I mean, against Western Michigan, I think they passed the ball a total of 18 times. For them to be able to run the ball against really good teams, they're going to have to be more than one-dimensional. So that's my answer. They have to be able to pass the ball, or else this whole running stuff won't work against really good teams.
Well, and what we saw was a team that didn't need to pass the ball. They were able to run the ball effectively, and they can, to your point, they've got to be a little bit more balanced.
Right.
But if you look at this offensive line, their best offensive lineman wasn't even in the game very much. That was Zach Zinter, who's playing with that cast on his hand. You put him in the mix. I thought Ryan Hayes, Trevor Keegan did a great job of meshing up on their double teams. And I also think that if you throw in not just Blake Corum and Hassan Haskins, but you throw in Donovan Edwards, now you've got a 1-2-3 punch, 3 different style of the running backs, and it really comes down to Josh Gaddis. How creative can he be in putting a game plan together and designing runs and opportunities for these guys?
See, that's a catch-22, John, because I really want to see Edwards too, but I like the commitment to Haskins.
Yeah.
I was a little bothered by the conservative play calling. There was a lot of run, conservative pass type play calling. I would expect they better open it up, because I know me and some of my friends were extremely frustrated. Cade McNamara had a solid performance, and J.J. McCarthy made his debut by throwing a risky cross-field pass. Do you think the Wolverines should experiment with playing both QBs in meaningful time?
No, I don't think that they should mess with it right now. If J.J. McCarthy, through practice and through opportunities like he had on Saturday, if he shows that he is the better option, then you make the change. But you I don't like a 2-quarterback system. Just like you mentioned for the running backs, you got to get a guy a rhythm, you got to get him a feel for the game, and you go with one, and if you need to make a change, you just simply make a change.
I agree with you. Saturday worked perfectly. It was a perfect time for them to get McCarthy's feet a little wet. Hopefully the rest of the season, same things happen. Injuries do occur, so chances are he'll be playing. But I don't know. There was this 2-quarterback system. Brady and Henson, it really didn't work as well as it should have either. So we have that going.
All right, Michigan State's win over Northwestern went about as well as anybody could have imagined. What's the ceiling for the Spartans record-wise?
At the next light,
I think the ceiling is 7. I mean, unless they can upset Miami, I think 7 is fair. Maybe they can win one of the Penn State, Michigan. I don't think they can beat Ohio State. One of those games that could probably get them to 7. That to me is the ceiling, which is fine. I think they're building it the right way.
I think their ceiling is 7 as well. And you look at the Youngstown State game, Nebraska, Western Kentucky, Rutgers, IU, Purdue, and Maryland. That should be their 7 wins. Now, I do think that they stumble in one of those games, but I also think if you take the other 4, you got Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, and Miami, they win one of those games. Yeah, so I think they could end up with a 7-win season.
Yeah, I'd like to go higher, maybe 8, but just the depth of the East, and a lot what's going to determine them getting to 8 instead of 7s is the Michigan game. That's going to be a huge game. Kenneth Walker was named Big Ten Player of the Week after rushing for 264 yards and 4 touchdowns. The question is, why wasn't Walker named National Player of the Week?
Well, I don't necessarily know that there is a National Player of the Week.
Walter Football does one.
Walter Camp does. Well, I do know that Pro Football Focus does something similar as well. And they had so the answer is I don't know why he wasn't. And they had Javon Hiley from Coastal Carolina, who only averaged like 7.8 yards a carry. He had the best outing of any college football player running back. I mean, offensively, you could even go, if he wasn't going to be the one, you've got the kid down at Duke, Mateo Durant, who had 255 yards, but he had like 29 carries. So, I mean, it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other, but
there's just, I picked this up because I was reading some, blog type stuff, message board stuff, and people were furious.
The answer to the question is very simple. Whoever votes on this thing, Walter Camp, they're on drugs. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, the guy who won it had a fine game. Bijan Robinson of Texas, 103 yards rushing, 73 yards, receiving, 2 touchdowns. It doesn't compare to what and he did it against. All right, well, no, Louisiana is a better team than his ranking-wise, but still,
it's just it makes Michigan State fans.
Sense.
Michigan State fans always think they get disrespected. This is the sign of that.
Yes.
You know, that they just always, it seems like their guys have to go above and beyond, and even then they still don't get it. All right, some allegedly big-time quarterbacks like DJ Uiagalelei, did I do it, Greg? Spencer Rattler, Sam Howell, and Graham Mertz all really struggled last weekend. If the Lions were somehow in position to draft one of them, who would it be and why?
Well, I'm not a big Rattler guy because he's too erratic for me. Hal looks terrible. Mertz, nothing. I'm going to go with DJ.
The big Cinco.
Yes, exactly. Uiagalelei. Right? That's right.
Yeah.
Uiagalelei. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, because to me, he incorporates at his best the combination of running ability and passing.
And he's the one.
I don't want any of them.
Well, yeah, I don't either, but he's the one that has the most potential.
Right.
Because we just haven't seen enough of him. We saw him against Notre Dame last year. We're going to see him all season this year. I like the fact that he's 6'4", he's 250. He could be a very durable quarterback. And like you, I was very disappointed in Sam Howell. Now, I'm not going to say and give up on Sam Howell. I think of the other guys, he is the one that I would stick with the longest. But I don't like it. I mentioned this last week. He's 6'1". I just want my quarterback to be a little bit taller than that.
I said this yesterday off the air to some people around here, and I wish I would have done it on the show, so I'll give it to you guys now here. Okay, so do you think Baker Mayfield is a franchise quarterback?
No.
A lot of people do, and he's kind of that line, whether you think you can build a team around him and you might be able to win, and we might find that out this year, you know? But I think he's like that guy, and I don't think any of these guys have shown me what Baker Mayfield did. So I don't want anything to do with any of them right now.
I know, exactly.
John?
Well, Baker Mayfield, when he was at Oklahoma,
he was better than all these guys have been.
Well, he was, but he had more to work with than Sam Howell did. Sam Howell, the last 2 years, had really good wide receivers,
really good running back,
and a really good running back.
Sam Stafford.
But he doesn't have that now, and so that's where I want to see if he can grow this year and be the quarterback that he was without as much talent. And right now, that answer is no.
Yeah, his tight end struggled. I'll give you that. The Walston guy, he had a rough game. Give me the top 3 reasons why the Lions can surprise us all and compete for a wild card spot.
Well, the number one reason is they got to be able to control the ball. They've got to be able to run the football with DeAndre Swift, with the running backs that they have, with the offensive line. They also have to be, Jared Goff has to be patient. If he can be patient and not turn the football over, it will give them the best chance to win games. And then defensively, their front seven, they have to apply pressure to other quarterbacks. You can't let them stand back in the pocket and pick apart a very young safety, a very young secondary. So those are my 3 reasons.
And my 3 reasons, Jared Goff has to play like he did the year they went to the Super Bowl. Number 2, the defense has to create turnovers. And number 3, they have to play a lot of teams with COVID problems.
I love it, Stoney. That's good. I kind of admit I don't want the Rams thing to work. I don't like Stafford's elite, and I think McVay's a little overrated. However, Peter King is just the latest to pick the Rams to win it all. I respect Peter King. He said Stafford could throw for 6,000 yards. I'm starting to get worried that the Rams thing might actually work. Tell me how the Rams and Stafford season played out.
I think they're going to be really good, but I'm big on San Francisco. I think the 49ers win the division, so the Rams will come in second place in that division. They will win their first playoff game in Matthew Stafford's career, and that'll be it.
I don't even know that they make the playoffs. Don't buy into just because everybody says they're going to be good, that they're going to be good. The number one reason is the last few years, who hasn't been able to finish or play a complete season? Matthew Stafford. And they need him to be able to do that. They've got a 40-year-old left tackle, Andrew Whitmer. They've got a guy. Their defense is, yes. But you can't just win on defense. And, their secondary, their receivers have been banged up throughout the course of the past 3 or 4 years. And they're only one injury away in the backfield of making it a one-dimensional offense. They went and got Sony Michel after they got, Cam Akers got hurt. They're so close, but they have...
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
The Seahawks and Cardinals have a major say in this. I'm with Stoney with the Niners. Interesting, though, you think the Niners will win the division, but the Rams will win the playoff. That means Matthew Stafford's going to take a team on the road and win a playoff. Wow. All right, give me an under-radar NFL MVP candidate. Give me a team that missed missed the playoffs last year that could win the Super Bowl?
Josh Allen. I know he's not necessarily under the radar, but I would give him the best chance to win an NFL MVP.
He's over the radar.
What's that?
He's over the radar.
What do you mean?
Everybody forgot he's the leading candidate. Aaron Rodgers, he was runner-up last year. John is mad as flummoxed.
Yeah, it's fine. But the team, I tell you, the team that I think is the team that could win it is the LA Chargers. They're my under-the-radar Super Bowl team because, and if they keep Derwin James healthy, Joey Bosa continues to improve and be the dominant player that he is, I think the Chargers could be that team.
Well, we agree on the under-radar team that could win the Super Bowl because I have the Chargers as well. But Herbert, their defense obviously is really good. Great corner. I mean, great secondary. I mean, people forget about Chris Harris. They got, obviously James. As far as under-the-radar MVP candidates, and the keyword is under the radar, Jameis frickin' Winston. There's your under the radar.
The thing on the Chargers, quick, I think for that to happen, Joey Bosa finally has to have his season. He is the best defensive player in the National Football League, leading in sacks.
And Keenan Allen will finally get the credit he deserves.
Finally, what two teams will make the Super Bowl and who will win it all?
Well, the best teams are the teams that played the Super Bowl last year. But I don't think Kansas City is going to go 3 years in a row. And for something, Tampa looks too good to be true, so I'm going to go.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to go for the I'm going to go for Aaron Rodgers' storybook season to continue. The Green Bay Packers will beat the Buffalo Bills in Minnesota.
So we agree on half of that. Buffalo Bills will be a Super Bowl team, but I'm going to take Tampa.
Whoa, stunner! I know.
I did last. Yeah, I did, and I said this before. I am going to take him until he retires, and I'll probably still take him 2 years after. Because it just works.
That is the
In 2 miles, take exit 14C onto M39 and Southfield Freeway.
Get your payout before the game's out with BetMGM. Place a moneyline wager on any Thursday night football game, and if your team is up by 10 or more points at halftime, you win. That's a full payout for only half the game, no matter what happens the rest of the way. Simply go to your BetMGM account and opt in each week to the Thursday night halftime payout promotion. Want to continue wagering in the third quarter? Keep it rolling with BetMGM's extensive live betting options. Need to hit this sack early? Use your winnings to place a one-game parlay on Sunday and go for gridiron glory. Go to BetMGM, download the app today. See how you can turn halftime to cash time. Make a money line bet on Thursday night. Team is up by 10 or more, you win it ahead. Only at BetMGM. Opt-in required. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 or older. Michigan only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ8950 traffic center.
Stay in the second lane from right.
Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. There's a crash on the right shoulder of the 94 westbound ramp to Outer Drive. In Sterling Heights, an accident is reported at Mount southbound between 16 and 50 Mile Road. Then in the West Bloomfield area, there's a down tree and wires blocking Orchard Lake Road at
Use the right 2 lanes to take exit 14C onto M39 and Southfield Freeway.
Fully vaccinated. Discover the facts at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. I'm Michelle Penny with traffic.
97.1 The Ticket and the Bet 1270. Your homes for the NFL of Westwood One. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers host the Dallas Cowboys. Thursday night football. Pre-game at 8 on the Bet 1270. Detroit.
This Odyssey.com Sports Minute is brought to you by Paulson's Audio and Video.
This for a sizable the challenge is divorce and you're a guy, there's a good chance that your trusted friend for all life's challenges to date has been your spouse, whom the legal system now terms the opposing party. This is why guys notoriously are prone to feeling isolated and alone during the divorce process. The good news is you don't have to go through this alone. Let Cordell and Cordell be the partner that you can count on through the challenges of divorce. CordellCordell.com. You are not alone. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell and Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Call 833-MEN-LAW-1. That's 833-MEN-LAW-1. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Breathe easier with banking that gives you 3 for free. Earn 3% and pay 0 monthly fees with a Premier Checking account at Community Financial Credit Union. Our Premier Checking account has no minimum balance requirements and no monthly fees. That puts more money in your pocket. Learn more at cfcu.org or stop by one of our 13 community locations. That's cfcu.org. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Churches has a deal made for you or all y'all. Choose your favorite tenders of classic style chicken and spicy or original with sides and biscuits for everyone. So swing by for Church's Feed 6 starting at $20 deals. Church's, bringing that down home flavor. Offer valid at participating locations. Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket, powered by Odyssey and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. Text the ticket now. Ticket text 248-539-9797. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Tony and Jansen.
A lot of people complain, guys, that baseball just does a horrible job of marketing itself. They realize, you know what today is?
No.
Today's the Hall of Fame inductions. Derek Jeter is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame today. Because they didn't have it, because last year was COVID.
Right.
So they moved it. And I know they probably
2 miles. Take exit 9 toward Joy
Why
Road.
did they have it like the end of August? A Wednesday in September?
Right.
I had no idea. I just happened to be, walking around. Oh my God. Derek Jeter, Southfield High's own Ted Simmons, Larry Walker, some others as well too. But
and if you even go to any of other, I'm sure at MajorMLB.com,
that's where I went.
If you go to any of the other sports pages, and you go to the one that's dedicated to baseball, so if you go to ESPN or CBS, they're not even at the top of the list. It doesn't even come in the top headlines.
Derek Jeter, say what you want, whether he's a great player, whatever. I mean, he's of this generation, the last 20, 25 years. People love Derek Jeter, not just around here. I mean, obviously, the Yankees, the whole deal, and people don't even realize it's today.
Right, and so you got to scroll. I don't know, 3 or 4 times the length of the page down. And 6 days ago, they had an article about Derek Jeter, but nothing about today being the Hall of Fame induction.
Yeah. Anyway, so congratulations to all Derek Jeter's family and friends from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Of course, Ted Simmons funeral.
Use the right lane to take exit 9 toward Joy
I
Road.
was going through the show prep the other day, and I said this headline in my favorite paper, the New York Post. Ex-NFL player goes pantless in Walmart after being rescued from flooded home. Oh boy, this is right up my alley. And I just assumed it was somebody like in Louisiana. But no, because of the storms in the Northeast,
Take the exit, then turn right onto Joy Road.
Area. And ex-Eagle Freddie Mitchell in suburban Philly in New Jersey.
At the light, use the right 2 lanes to turn onto Joy Road.
And there's pictures of him because his house was flooded.
Yeah.
Police told him to get out. He had no clothes. So he just went to Walmart pantsless. And when you think of Freddie Mitchell's a weird guy, Fred X.
Turn right.
But when you think of Freddie Mitchell, at least for me, and unfortunately for Greg, fortunate for me, unfortunate for Greg, you think of one play. And that was the, 2003 playoff game, and then with Donovan McNabb, the pass on the 4th and 25.
In 3/4 of a mile, the destination is on your right.
They won the playoff.
19618 Joy Road.
So I was wondering, that's Freddie Mitchell, the one play that he's known for. Who else is just known basically for one play? 248-539-9797. Now, around here, if you want to just keep it locally, but I don't know if there's enough locally, but we'll see.
We'll start there.
Call in and text in. Jalen Watts Jackson.
Yes.
Unfortunately, sucked for me, sucked for you, sucked for a lot of Michigan fans. Spartan fans, revel in the guy, but that's what he's known for.
It is. And I mean, it's a moment that will be forever remembered in the state of Michigan because it's a great rivalry.
Yes.
And it turned the game. And obviously
won the game.
Yeah, won the game. I mean, it was devastating.
Yeah.
I have to say, it
like
hurt.
freaking O'Neal.
Yeah. Yes.
And Jim Harbaugh, whoever the special teams coach back then, he needed to defend gunners.
Yes. Well, and so I've got another one for you.
Okay.
I believe it was also September 11 of 2000. I forget what the year was, but it was the first Notre Dame night game in the Big House. Roy Roundtree catching the pass to win it.
Okay.
I mean, if you think of Roy Roundtree, if you're a Michigan fan, that's the play because you don't really think about him for a lot other.
You know what I think of Roy
Destination is on your right. 19618 Joy Road.
Him.
Arrived.
From Purdue or one of those schools. Remember that?
Yes.
Well, when I think of Roy Roundtree, I always question, is he the son of Shaft actor Richard Roundtree?
And the Lions.
I keep asking myself that all the time.
The Lions had drafted some guy years ago, like in the late 80s, who played at Penn State named Ray Roundtree. He was a wide receiver.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember him.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were going to go Jeremy Gallen. But yes, Roy Roundtree.
Yeah, Roy Roundtree. I mean, September 11 was 2011.
Yeah.
So, I think and that's where you